Hopefully, you know, the boys had some pubs in them before going into their first tournament game of the day here. But now you're warmed up, and let's see if Talon can repeat what they did in game one. Very impressive achievement in the first game.
We've got nothing.
How, oh gosh, I just lost it. My brain just went and booped on me.
That's so funny. Both of them were smoked, and they kind of like circled around each other as they dropped those mid wards. But yeah, that ward gets pinged out. Yeah, they did identify that this big camp here seems to be blocked. So SF goes in, has a sentry.
30 seconds to battle.
And that's a bit of gold going over the side of Mira, so he's happy on his bench. Gets a return on the investment of the sentry.
They'll get their
That's
own
same.
D-ward. Does seem like there's very limited spots to be able to place wards at the very start of the game. Every single team pretty much picking the same spots over and over.
Generally, nice runes here for Team Spirit. They're gonna get an advantage from the start. I mean, the teams, the way they run out when they start, the game starts, they smoke out and they kind of cover every single area with their bodies. So they run out and try and give themselves info on where the enemy are warding. But yeah, you can't really get that deep into enemy jungle to get creative wards. That's how we saw that got dewarded. He just tried to go a little bit too far.
Interesting with this top lane. You have Q on the Marcy, KP on Enigma. And Enigma to, you know, level 1 doesn't do a whole heck of a lot, but already you're seeing, you know, that capability of Marcy being able to just move Mira around. And even though KP has ended up losing these Eidolons, he put out a decent amount of harass onto this Vengeful right off the bat.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage. You don't want to get thrown back to the Eidolons. They do a lot of right clicks on you during that time. And Marcy overall is going to win the harass trade between the bench and Marcy a lot. But same for the lane.
Look at Q. He's just running after Mira, just punching him. Does have the dispose available in another second, but again, we're seeing this power of the gyrocopter, who's just like, yeah, I'm not going to let you have Eidolons here. I'm not going to even let you have this courier. But Q uses the dispose, says, please don't touch him. And just throws out punches.
He desperately wanted to get in there and get some last hits.
Another dispose in about 3 seconds. Q's pretty fast.
Yeah, he's chasing, but I don't think he can really do it on his own. No Eidolons available right now to help him.
Yeah, they're doing a great job of cutting those down immediately whenever they pop up.
Bottom lane, bit of trading happening as well. Miposhka on his Undying, trying to keep Collapse happy and last hitting.
Mid lane seems to be going fairly even. Right now, Toronto, Tokyo, a little bit of that advantage, 12-1, and the Queen of Pain sitting at 8-3.
Mikoto, though, he's bullying him a little bit. He goes for the rune, so he's blocking where Toronto Tokyo can go for rune control, and having that blink on Queen, she is the spirit here to catch runes.
He ended up using the tombstone on the bottom lane. Didn't get the kill on 23 Savage. Hyde needs to be a little bit careful, though. So they'll dish back some of that harassment.
Yeah, they get the tombstone gold as well. Nice bit of gold for them. Oh, this is dangerous.
The harass up here in the top lane. They have the Eidolons. Then that is going to be the first blood going over to KP.
Yeah, that was a good catch, and we see just why Marcy is so dangerous. Toronto Tokyo is just behind the tower here. All right, gets the courier.
A little bit unorthodox, but doesn't seem to mind as he's landing some of these raises over on Queen.
He has to watch out. Marcy is coming in.
There it is the rebound. There's the dispose, and this is a dead Toronto Tokyo. Very nice.
Yeah, this is looking like the average Marcy impact, just killing people left, right, and center. Showing exactly why this hero is a fearsome monster of a hero that I feel genuinely afraid for any team that lets it through in the draft, because it's just so strong in the laning stage.
I just love how terrifying Marcy is, but how like happy and like wholesome she looks. If that makes any sense.
So cheerful whistle.
guess that's even scarier though, right? When you have the super happy looking ones and they're the ones that you have to watch out for. They will absolutely murder you.
Yeah, she enjoys it too.
At least in the anime, she's just protecting people, you know? It's not that she's just a bloodthirsty maniac. Just protecting her friend.
Justifying it.
Look, at least she's not Luna committing war crimes, okay?
That's
It could
true.
be much worse. Those poor, poor elves.
Bottom lane, 15-3 against the 19-4 here. Drow Ranger falling a little bit behind to the Mars and Lasted, but that's expected. Offlaners usually pull out ahead a little bit in the CS, but she's getting good farm. And the battle, the two supports just duking it out. A hard battle for Hyde though. Winning against an undying laning stage is pretty much impossible as a Tusk. You can't really trade with him.
Oh, the courier, Makoshka, he wants it! Might finish him off, though, as they do jump underneath
Drow?
the tower. This is not looking good for 23 Savage. He's trying to slow down, trying to get out some damage before he inevitably ends up dying, but they drop the tombstone. Snowball coming into play. The rotation from Q should be able to punish push, but they still end up getting the kill.
The spear?
And now Q is looking a little bit scared here. He's still taking so much damage from the tombstone. Collapse says, yeah, I'll take another kill. I'd love that. As, just slowly clicks him down. Eventually dying to the tower, but it took some doing.
That is terrible for Talon. They have 3 heroes down there and all of them die. Meanwhile, top they're getting bullied now because he's alone. Enigma needs some help. Tosh TP's in.
Gonna try to punish Mira here. Doesn't look like there's too much that they'll be able to do to try to save Mira, but the snowball comes in. They'll slow down Yatro. KP hiding into the tree line. They still have the vision,
Queen
though.
is coming.
They want to get this kill. Queen of Pain, though, making her own rotation. KP sitting so very low, but the Shadow Strike, the clicks are there, and they'll be able to punish Yatro.
Yeah, they tried to go very aggressive top on Team Spirit because they saw so many rotations down towards bottom, but still good reaction. And I mean, Queen is happy to TP and join if people are diving on the tower. That's the haste rune.
Does have the haste rune. Has to be careful with those shards. Snowball is going to try to get out of there as quick as possible. Does have the Undying nearby. And that'll be the end of that engagement.
He could maybe have found that kill on Mikoto there. He did have the ulti, and SF was like 150 HP towards the end of all that. Maybe he was worried they would be able to heal up.
And Collapse just does not care. Just tanks all that multi-shot right to the face. Does force 23 Savage to use the guns. And they've actually rotated Q down. I like this. I think having him be very aggressive and have these early rotations are a great use of this Marcy.
Yeah, it's a good way to use it. However, that does leave more space over to top lane. I know they just died, but this top tower might fall quickly, and your offlane tower falling is never a good thing. And KP needs to get back to the lane right now. He's got TP out. Has a hard time as he's being left to his own device.
A lot of pressure being placed onto Toronto Tokyo here in the mid lane. 2 supports wandering through. And whenever Marcy's not on the map, that is a cause for alarm, depending on which lane you're in. They go for a smoke play, too. So you're going to see the Tusk and the Marcy making these rotations. And they're headed top, perhaps to alleviate some of that pressure on KP.
Yeah, they're moving towards the lane with KP as well. He's coming with his Eidolons, so he's ready to fight.
Oh, Mira just
TP'd
TP's out.
Oh, he's in trouble, and
He's
Yatoro.
in so much trouble. Yeah, Hyde getting to position, throws out the shards. Follow up with the hit here. There it is. And it's just a dead Yatoro. Very unfortunate that... Oh, gosh. Makoto's here, too. Do they decide that they want to jump on this Undying?
Wow. Okay, so Talon really being cautious there. They still had all their spells on Marcy. She could have jumped and disposed the Undying back into them, but they were happy. They got a kill on the carry. Didn't see many people on the map, so be careful.
Makoto gets hit with that magic missile, but is going to end up getting caught in the shards and disposes. There, it's a dead Mira. And Makoto is on a killing spree. Already 3 kills on this Queen of Pain at 8 minutes in.
Yeah, it comes from the rotations, though. I mean, Q has been in 6 out of the 8 kills so far, and he's looking to make it more.
He's looking to get another kill on Yatoro as all 3 of them go forward. Couple clicks and Even the Sonic Wave getting used just to make sure that they can get the kills. Now Maposhka is just getting tossed around. Yet another kill from Makoto. 5 kills on this guy. And, you know, I heard that, you know, this is a team that gets carried by Makoto a lot of the time, but my god. These supports making these really nice rotations and helping to enable Makoto. Just looking so good early right now.
Yeah, I like the way they're playing overall. They're getting stuff done. However, it should be mentioned that the overall farm is still going the way of Spirit. They have great last hits on the SF, who has been jungling quite a bit. And Mars has just quietly been sitting on bottom lane. He's doing his job. He's taking this tower out bit by bit. And he has really great CS as well. And even though Gyrocopter has died a few times, his farm is on point. He's still ahead of the Drow, or just even with the Drow now. So, while Spirit having a pretty bad start here, they're not in terrible form though.
I feel like that's a bit expected though when you have something like a Gyrocopter, that he should have pretty good farm. Because of the fact that he does have the AoEs.
Yeah, he was also a last pick. He was a last pick into a favorable lane. Gyro against Enigma is a fantastic lane, and dying 3 times is not what he wants to have happen. He wanted to be like 2,000 gold ahead of where he is right now in farm.
I do like how active Makoto is. See that the item is going to be picking up first. It's going to be the Witchblade. So, it's interesting to watch Spirit be put on the ropes, because like we haven't seen a lot of games where they get outpaced. And usually, you know, they're able to recover very well. So I'm curious to see if Talon's going to be able to keep up this pressure, because you don't want to have a couple deaths on Makoto, right? He kind of loses some of that momentum. But again, this is a guy, #1 SCA, very good at knowing his limits and pushing them.
Yeah, Makoto's a fantastic player, but no, I think it's dangerous when you play Queen. If you make one misplay, then people usually say that one death on Queen and you just lose the game. That's a drawback on the hero. And it's not exactly true, but it's sort of true that you're not allowed to make too many mistakes on this hero. And for now, they're doing fantastic. And I think the solution to this game for Talon is just to keep playing around Marcy, play into your strengths, and utilize her to catch people off guard.
The pressure's being placed on the mid tower. You've got Q in position. Makoto also just going to give a couple clicks to the side. Go for a little bit of a dive. Just breaking some trees. Maybe give Mira a little fright. Do have that one Cardi here. Do have a little bit of an opening as they jump onto Maposhka, who's dropped the tombstone. So now Hyde gonna have to use the snowball, go over to one of these camps. Collapso coming in hot. Does have the arena if they want to use it. Doesn't look like it's gonna be necessary. So should be able to get a kill on Hyde, but Toronto Tokyo chasing after KP, going to try to ensure that he is not going to do much in this fight.
Haste is so strong at this stage of the game. There's nothing he can do really on Enigma there. Can't get out of that situation. Haste even allows him to get back to defend mid as well.
And Q thinking about going back in, but gonna be a little bit short on that rebound.
Good fight there for Team Spirit, as they were just farming their Gyrocopter as well. Meanwhile, of course, Drow is hitting creeps as well, so both of them are just prioritizing their own farm.
And as we said earlier, with Collapse, having a lot of free farm in that bottom lane, the Drow leaving, do have a Blink Dagger picked up on him now at 12 minutes. Shards get tossed over onto Mira. He's still sitting at level 5, so not going to be able to get any sort of cheeky swap plays here for the time being, but Talon just focusing over here on the tower. Not going to go for any ridiculous dives. Not yet, anyways. As you can see, Drow is starting to move over.
Yeah, that was really good use of the tree line. Mira just staying safe under the trees. Even as they tried to dive him, they couldn't really get good enough vision to kill him. And now he's level 6. Goes for deny. Nice deny on tower.
Niall, it's still going to be a very dead Mira. There it is, though. That's the arena we were looking for. Q and Makoto caught inside. They'll end up losing Q. Makoto, trying to survive a little bit longer, does manage to blink away. He's going to get off a couple of these little clicks onto some of these zombies. And Drow standing on the high ground, though. Nice positioning. He's going to be able to just throw out the damage onto Maposhka. One more hit should be enough to finish him off. And now Makoto surviving for quite a while. The Sonic Wave coming out as Toronto Tokyo ends up popping in the mid lane.
Yeah, they just barely TP out as well to safety with Collapse. Gets away, but that was a fantastic turnaround there. Good positioning by Hyde going in for that kill on the SF as well. Good reads overall by Talon. They're out fighting Spirit right now.
Yeah, again, it's very surprising to see Spirit getting outpaced. We're seeing the early Crystallis picked up on the Gyrocopter.
Yeah, he went for the first item, with brown boots even, and it surprised me a little bit. It is, you know, a good damage item to farm jungle, but this is a very, very passive approach to playing Gyrocopter. Is going for the full farming build, no points at all in Rocket Barrage. That's not too uncommon, but going for the Crystallis before Power Treads or something to be stronger in laning stage as well. I feel like he's turning on Ultra Greed mode here on Yatoro. He just wants to farm and get absolutely huge.
Is getting some room to be able to hit the creeps, so perhaps it is paying off, but not exactly the most orthodox build that we see on Gyrocopter.
No, this is not really the norm builds, but the early Aghanims is really common though. And we even have seen, you know, a lot of people go for otherwise the Maelstrom into the Aghanims build on Gyrocopter. Crystallis is just a little bit cheaper and allows them to quickly switch in to go for the Aghanim Scepter.
Wraith Pack completed now for KP. And he's just been shoving out this top lane much as possible. Do have collapse. He's smoked up with the rest of the team. He's got himself a double damage just about to wear off. And it's just ships passing in the might. They're just a little bit too slow to grab up KP. They might go for the dive though underneath the tower. Mira getting into position, thinking about a swap. But they're going to be patient.
Yeah,
The smoke is going to wear off.
Don't really connect, but he does reveal himself in the end with the God's Rebuke as the smoke times out. But that was very, very close to KP dying, but his read was on point. He backed off in time. And has he taken an Overlord creep yet? I feel like he has this Helm of the Overlord, but I can't see if he has taken one creep yet. I think he should get one. Keep an eye on the Ancients.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't think he has one yet. I think... I'm not sure why. Oh, wait. I'm silly. He's, of course, Wraith Pact.
It is something he could pick up eventually, though, the Helm of the Overlord, if he wanted to go for it. Will assist.
No, I just get them confused sometimes, the two symbols. I'm still not entirely used to the icons. Old man Dota here.
I was thinking that you were talking about, like, oh yeah, eventually, you know, get something like that. But a little bit of initiation over onto Mira. Tag team getting used by Hyde. Collapse in a nice position. And the Tombstone. So it looks like Talon realizing, okay, we can just walk away from this. Well, we can't walk away from it when we do get swapped in. So Hyde throwing out the snowball. They will be able to blow up the Vengeful Spirit. Now Hyde, these zombies might be able to finish him off. Yeah, he'll be able to get taken out there by those residual zombies from the Tombstone being placed on the high ground.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, they only trade down support, and the farm on the Ancients is still being committed here by Yatoro. He's getting very close now to shipping out his entire Aghanims. In fact, it's coming out right now. So this doesn't necessarily make him want to look for fights super badly, but it does put him in a better fighting shape. And having Aghanims on Gyrocopter is a fantastic counter to Enigma. Not just... You know, Gyrocopter doesn't only counter Enigma in laning phase, but being able to build an Aghanim Scepter and later down the road already has queued up the Satanic. He can be life-stealing during the Black Hole, which is great. Move coming in bottom. They're looking for a catch here. Q gets the catch on Mira.
Oh yeah, while this is happening, they find the Poshkov in the other lane, but they do manage on Mira. So both the supports on the side of Team Spirit end up falling.
Yeah, very nice, making 2 rotations at once there. Good kills for them.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see if Yatoro, because, you know, again, he's got the Ags, it's going to want to go for that BKB for his next item, but Toronto Tokyo has finished his own BKB. Do they try to, you know, make some plays where just Yatoro is farming in the general area so he can join in the fights, doesn't have to commit? Because I feel like the BKB on Toronto Tokyo is a big deal.
I think they have a huge power spike right now, and it's going to be a long time until their next one. They don't have any big item that's coming up very soon, so the Blink on Mars, the BKB on Yatoro, and the Aghanims completing on Gyrocopter, they could look for some fights right now just by having all these 3 items complete. And over on the side of Talon, they are closing in on BKB soon as well on the side of Drow Ranger.
Bit of the Walrus Punch here from Hyde. He's just caught out. It's going to make them work for it. They have a little bit of a chase, but it will ultimately fall to Collapse.
Radiant are scanning.
Yeah, I like it. They're starting to recognize their power spikes, so they're going towards Roshan, dropping down the Tombstone, fighting in this area. And with 2 BKBs close to finishing on the side of Talon, they just got the Drow. but they're close to the Queen as well. I don't think they want to fight yet, so this is Aegis is just gonna safely go the way of Team Spirit.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Trying to put that final pressure on this bottom tier 1 once the fort is up, but again, yeah, we will see that Yatro gets that Aegis very easily. And this is a nice little insurance policy because he doesn't have the BKB just yet, but this is going to make it so if they decide they do want to take a fight, it's a little bit less risky for the gyrocopter.
Yeah, I think BKB is very good for him, but also wouldn't be completely against him going for even greedier items when he has this Aegis in hand now. But he probably wants it because they have so much magic damage and disables between Marcy and Queen of Pain. I think it's smart to just go for it. So he sends out the Mithril Hammer.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Queen,
circle's being
BKB, Drow as well. Right now, Talon feel like maybe they can make something happen. They're only 200 gold away from a Blink Dagger on Enigma, so that's going to be their big power spike, I would say.
There's a blink completed now for Toronto Tokyo that's being shipped out to him right now.
Yeah, he's going for more of the caster SF, it seems, in this
Dire's
game.
bottom tower is under attack.
Curious to see who's going to make the first moves. I feel like Team Spirit, they're kind of in the driver's seat right now because they do have this power spike, but also the aggression from Talon has been real this entire time.
Talon just want to set up a bait and get a big black hole off. That's basically their gameplay, but there's so many ways to cancel a non-BKB black hole. You have, you know, homing missile, you have fear from SF, Venge. There are so many catches. So
Radiant's middle
overall,
tower
we're going to see Team Spirit just keep taking towers and dealing damage here.
tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
positioning has to be just right. There's the Blink Dagger delivered to Enigma, though, so these next fights are going to be very crucial in the way
Dire's
that
bottom tower is
the
under
positioning occurs.
Yeah, I like that they're pushing bottom, and meanwhile Mikoto is cutting in the mid creep wave. We see the same thing also being done over on the side of Spirit, of course. They cut the mid wave and shoving towards the top tower, but they don't push fast enough, really. There's a chance to defend this if Talon wants to smoke over.
Don't know if yeah, okay, they'll go for the smoke. Dakota leading the charge.
Radiant's
Yeah,
top
even
tower
catching stragglers is
under attack.
possible.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
This could be big. Again, this is the reveal of that Blink Dagger. They do ping out that, you know, they have had, oh, Q. Smoposhka, first one that they're going to run into. Again, it's a support, so it's not the end of the world. They don't want to lose people, but if they're going to have to lose someone, Smoposhka is the optimal person on the side of Team Secret. Sorry, Spirit.
It's the classic Spirit play, though. They always fall on the sword with Miposhka or Mira sticking around in the area. So, I mean, him dying there, it is a little bit costly, but not really. He respawns so fast and he gives so little gold that him sort of intentionally tanking that gank gives them an information. Okay, we see where Talon are. They reveal themselves, and now immediately they smoke up again, looking for a fight with that information. They also have the ward down, of course.
I don't think... Have they spotted that Enigma has the blink, though?
They've
Shown
seen it.
himself? Okay. A little bit of the skirmish starting off as they'll put up the pressure on Collapse. The rest of the team, though, good positioning. Staying pretty split out. Another hit over onto Collapse. Sonic Wave landing onto multiple, as now 23 Savage. The positioning is very nice here. As just hiding back over here on Yatro. They'll drop the tombstone, but the shards making it so Yatro cannot quite make it over to the side. So there it is. That's going to be the Aegis. First death. As the rest of Spirit starts to collapse. They are grouped up. You have to be quite careful against this Enigma with the Blink Dagger. But
Very clean
Talon seems
pick
happy.
there. Fantastic shards to lock out the positioning, and they all still stay disciplined. They don't clump up too much to get caught in a good arena. There's no chance for a big SF ulti, and they still stayed ready with their Enigma to counter-initiate if there was more aggression coming out by Spirit. But they take down the Aegis, equalizing the field a bit. And a second smoke being popped here. Immediately Spirit want to go again. They smoked under a ward though, but they saw it. They dropped as a sentry, and now it's like, do we go? Awkward.
Again, Mira being the one to break some of these smoke ganks. Collapse waiting nearby. The positioning has been really interesting in a lot of these fights, especially around the Roche Pit fight. The way that Makoto approaches from one angle, and then the way that 23 Savage is also just at a completely other. So like it's just being pincered upon, which I think is very interesting.
Yeah, they're spreading. They don't want to get caught by big ultis.
It
Drow.
looks so good though. Like, okay, there it is. Jump, there it is. Followed up. Dead Mira. Unleash gets used during all of that. It's funny because Primal Beast is pulverized, and sometimes I have this moment where like you think about Marcy's punching, and it also seems like it would also be a very apt name.
Yeah, that's true. It does do some pulverizing damage. That's for sure.
A lot of punchy boys in Dota nowadays.
Yeah, that's what it's become. It's very, very brawly Dota lately. Overall, it seems like Talon now, if they keep playing the fights they do, like spreading out in the way that they do and positioning well, then it will be very hard for Spirit to take a good engagement because they rely on that Mars ulti so much. And there's also a big power spike coming up down the road for Team Talon here, as they are building BKB on Marcy and they're building a BKB on Enigma. So they're gonna have a quad BKB timing.
That is a huge deal. It's
Yeah,
been
at
very
that
back
point,
and
I mean,
forth.
yeah, it's back and forth, but at that point it will be difficult for them to get much done between Mars and the SF who's going for a caster build.
If you look at like the win probability, this game has stayed fairly close. Just a little bit of a advantage going over to Team Spirit usually, but feels very neck and neck. It's the kind of games that you like to see. Never know
Yeah,
who's
I
gonna
think-
be quickest.
I think there's an advantage overall for Talon though as the game progresses. They're just gonna scale better, I think, into late game. Yes, Yatoro on his gyrocopter is getting really, really massive. He's closing in on having the Daedalus now. And of course, once he gets Satanic, Eye of Skadi, Daedalus, like he's gonna start punching real hard on gyrocopter. But there are just multiple ranged cores, or like the Queen and the Drow are gonna be difficult for him to get close enough to, and he can get kited a bit in the fight.
A little bit of a duel getting tossed out here, you know? Like to see the guys having fun. But Spirit
Yeah,
grouping-
first hero to die loses.
grouping tightly together. I feel like Q's a little bit of a disadvantage here on this duel just because of the fact that is being the primary initiator alongside with Hyde.
Well,
Not sure how fair
is he
that
at a
one is.
disadvantage? He can just dispose the Marcy into the enemy. Let's see who wins the duel.
That is true. That is true. BKB completed though for the Marcy, so we're seeing these timings
Top tower is under attack.
and these power spikes starting to come together now. I like the early pickup of the gem over on Hyde. I think that's very nice to be able to just remove any of this excess vision. Collapse over in the mid lane.
Yeah, he's cutting that wave, not allowing them to get to a tier 2 tower. That's a pretty big move because else they could have pushed like top and mid, whereas Team Spirit would only be pushing bottom. So by doing that, he saves the mid tower from being a possible target.
Is under attack.
We're just seeing a trade on the tier 2s. Spirit will grab theirs first, but right behind them is of course Talon.
Yeah, pretty synchronized. Both teams are now happy to keep this farming going later into the game. Moving towards mid, just sending the Eidolons over. Spirits gonna try and shove mid creep wave as well. Neither team wants to fight right now. It's like nobody flinching.
It's a lot of posturing, a lot of control too up here top. They want to make sure that they control this area.
They have a huge timing here that they're hitting on Team Spirit before the BKB on Enigma. They're finishing up the Mystic Staff soon for SF, and that will be his entire Arcane Blink. And Arcane Blink can come as one of the biggest surprise timings in Dota. He hasn't revealed the components to it, of course, only having the Blink. Talon have to expect it to some degree, but this is a massive, massive item. Oh, he gets Ceremonial Robe as well, so his ulti would be very high damage and very long duration. The standoff.
Roche won't respawn for about a minute, so Talon, you know, getting themselves in position here. They've already taken down as much of the vision as possible that Team Spirit has had. I just feel like it's Collapse and Makoto just constantly staring each other down here on the river. They can't see each other, obviously. We have the God view, but...
It's so funny. They're actually in a complete mirror position right now. Everyone playing close to each other. Nobody wants to go alone and get caught out. And they're just holding out to the enemy jungle and cutting mid creep wave. Every single wave now for the last like 5-6 waves. They've been doing the same thing here. And neither team wants to flinch. But now, Team Spirit, they have enough. They've had enough of this. They want to go high ground and try and force their reaction.
I think that's a fair play here. See,
There's a lot of
Yatoro
damage
just
from Jaro.
chewing through it. Yeah, you're gonna see the TP come out. They realize that they have to respond to this. They can't just give up this tower for free. So Team Spirit and the standoff will be the ones who get the response.
Yeah, it's a good play, but they are not in control of Roche area, so they're gonna smoke immediately to try and bring themselves over there. They force people to come bottom. Now they're realizing, okay, Talon might be split up. If not, everyone went back to base, which probably not. Now they're looking for whoever is gonna come towards mid.
Positioning though here, one on the high ground, one on the low. We'll be able to just rebound off if necessary. And you can see the other heroes on the side of Talon. They are beelining over because they don't want to allow Spirit to get this Aegis. Couple of words.
I love this
yeah,
positioning by Queen of Pain. Mikoto just with a great smoke reveal position and just playing under her ward. And right now, vision advantage to Talon.
Another smoke over on the side of Spirit. They're going to try to make a wraparound play.
Look at
Going
Queen. She's
very
still
wide.
Yeah, she's still smoke revealing. I think they suspect that she is sitting around there, so they're trying to go all the way around here.
This is going pretty
But
fast
Roche,
though.
yeah, Roche goes down too quick for this. They don't have time for this move.
And they know exactly where they are now that they're changing over the outpost. Collapse does have the blink, throws a spear in, sitting very low. It's still going to be the Aegis going over to the side of 23 Savage. They call down BKB, but they've already escaped, so it looks like they're going to end up losing High. They lose Miposhka, and that's the last second end up losing Makoto too, as Q's stuck over on top of the eye spot. A spear will help him get it down, and then, you know, just a subtle hit from the gyrocopter will send him home. And a body bag. Probably not the way he wanted to go.
That's crazy, actually. They managed to kill that. I almost don't need to see a replay of that fight and how it played out. They didn't even need to use the SF ulti in that. They did dish out some damage, of course. Gyrocopter did almost all the damage with this flat cannon, though. The Daedalus coming in big. I thought Queen would be more tanky with her Shivas, but she went down fast.
And we can see that replay here. Coming in.
Oh, yeah, they're already dead in the clip, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, they died very,
They died
very
too
quickly.
fast. Not even the replay could catch it. It was so fast. The DPS of Yatoro is just insane. It breaks ordinary time rules. And now it seems like Mikoto and the squad here on Talon, they want to go in and try and reclaim their own Ancients area, perhaps. Or maybe you want to go even deeper. They do still have the Aegis. So while they lost the fight handedly, they did secure and get away with the Aegis on Savage. It was close to it being stolen there. But Collapse could not get his hands on it.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if that last little burning bit of the spear would be able to go and get the kill on Roche, but still ends up going the way of Talon.
Yeah. 23 Savage just looking for a fight right now. He feels like farming is not what he wants to do anymore. He's looking for any initiation he can get. But Team Spirit are respecting the Aegis and playing very carefully together right now in their own jungle.
It is going to hurt. They ended up losing the gem in that battle, so gonna have to be a bit more careful with positioning because there is the Silver Edge over on 23 Savage, and also all their hard work and like warding and whatnot is going to get deleted. Although there's a double damage rune over here. Yeah, the bottle handed over to Yatoro. I'm gonna make sure that he can save that for later. That is some scary stuff for right now.
Yeah, that's actually insanely good to have a bottle up D room for him. Now they're looking happy to fight even into Aegis. They feel confident. They see Queen on mid lane, so they're going behind.
Oh, okay. Toronto Tokyo was there. That's a pretty big pick-off, honestly. But the follow-up now from Collapse. BKB gets popped. You can see KP, he's trying to find this opening, but it's looking a bit hard. There it is. He jumps in with the black hole. Swap comes out. The 23 Savage will lose the Aegis and now hide. Too much damage coming out. Makoto with the Sonic Wave will push them back. Up comes 23 Savage, but Yato, he does so much damage. He's got himself a stack. Doesn't even need to use it as they just melt.
He has BKB on Mikoto. Cannot allow himself to get stunned next to his gyrocopter. He would actually shred him.
This is a very farmed Yatoro, and that was a lot of damage dealt throughout that battle.
Yeah, he's the entire damage source. Right now, they don't have a great solution to him. They would love to have something like a halberd or something to deal with the gyrocopter and his right clicks. Of course, he has BKB, so if he pops that early enough, you can't even deal with it. And I love the itemization. there we see they got the pick off on the SF, they back out, but Yatoro just slides in around the black hole here. The swap comes out to cancel that as well, and then he parks himself on the Aegis respawn, and there's no way that Drow Ranger can win this battle. I think maybe she could have tried for a TP out during it, because swap was on cooldown, but she still died so fast.
And you're thinking that that would go maybe a little bit better for the side of Talon, considering that SF did get just picked off very, very early on, but you can see the power of the gyrocopter. It makes it very, very difficult for them. Especially the way he just shredded, you know, Q jumping on the front line at the start of that fight. Just, even though he had a BKB, it did not matter.
No, it doesn't really do anything to protect him. The raw physical damage of Yatoro is extremely high right now. And I love the decision for him to go Blink as his next item. He's going for a Swift Blink next because he's recognizing he can kill anyone very, very quickly. And the main position, or main issue is something I said earlier. He might get kited, he might get controlled. You know, shards can block him off. You can have, you know, Marcy tossing him away or something as a dying action. But no, he goes for a Blink Dagger. Gonna be able to jump in and get deep into the team fight. And that makes it really hard for Drow Ranger. 23 Savages positioning now is gonna be a struggle against Swap, against that, against the SF Arcane Blink, and the jump of Mars. Who, by the way, went for a Basher in this game. Pretty cool to see. Collapse has a Basher, Mars, and going for Abyssal Blade next item.
It's another way to deal with Enigma if needed, and also just great lockdown.
Yeah, I mean, if you get one lucky random bash on a BKB Queen of Pain or Drow Ranger, that can definitely catch them by surprise and perhaps lead to some kill. You are playing into 4 BKBs, so I suppose Basher has increased value because of that.
Yeah, looks like Marcy will eventually be picking up a Basher herself to pair along with the Unleash.
Yeah, that's her dream, but I'm not sure. It's pretty far away, so we'll see if she manages to get there. They would need some good fights, and right now Team Spirit are the ones taking all of the control on the map.
Yeah, and you can see they did pick up a second gem. Hyde picking it up. It's in his inventory stash right now. Just trying to get some of that control back. Because map's dark. It is so dark for the side of Talon, which makes it difficult to get out there, especially when you've got squishier heroes, stuff like Makoto, Queen of Pain, and then of course 23 Savage.
Yeah, it's costly though. Costly to buy a second gem like this for him. It's rough. I'm sure he wishes for the old bug to still exist, where if you bought a gem and the enemy got it and they dewarded, you got the gold still. That was the first interaction of that. Yeah, I literally saw someone intentionally give away a gem to the enemy team and let them deward them just so he made money off the dewards. That was some clowny stuff in the initial version of it.
Also jump forward over onto Togip. He's got the BKB, so he's going to be able to get the Requiem off Q. Forced away. Should end up falling here, no problem. A nice attempt by the side of Talon, but they were so ready. That was some fast button pushing on Toronto Tokyo's half.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he sees Marcy flying in. That's a terrifying thing to see. So pressing the BKB quickly there before she lands. And Queen doesn't have a Hex in her items yet. She is going for it. So if she had completed her next item already, that could have been a kill on SF. Most likely would have been, but she still needs a bit more gold.
And SF has completed his own Scythe of Ice, so even more lockdown coming out from Team Spirit.
Yeah, Abyssal is up, Hex is up, and the Gyrocopter with his full Swift Blink as well. They're hitting a lot of timings here. And Talon, they just seem like they're unable to stay on the map for too long. Right now we have 80% of their team sitting in their own base, as Spirit are just running around doing whatever they want. And the only one they have on the map is Makoto, like hugging the tree line, trying to stay safe on the...
I mean, that is the one person that's able to get out on the map. Does have to be careful, though, because they do have the sheep stick, like we talked about. They've got methods to be able to just instantly lock down this Queen of Pain so she cannot escape. But it is necessary for her to get out. And the rest of Talon have smoked up. And I looked across the river. Are going to run it. Oh, look at this. Hugging that Roche pit so that way they don't run into Mira.
Oh my god, ships in the dark. They really don't see each other. They were so close.
But look at the sports. Again, we've talked about this. Miposhka standing over here on the side is going to be the one who breaks the smoke. Keep backing off. They see the gyrocopter, and they just feel uncertain, like they want to take this fight. They do have a ward down. They've got the sentry to the side.
Yeah,
KP's
it's a
being very
dangerous thing
patient.
if Yatoro gets vision on people, he could just pop Satanic and Swift Blink in with BKB on, and I'm not even sure he can really die if he blinks on top of someone. Like, yeah, you can try and commit Black Hole, but he's gonna keep Satanic lifestealing from you because he has not have enough range for that.
That'd be such a Chad move.
Yeah, I mean, it would be very Yatoro to do it, though. He is a pretty Chad carry player for sure.
They do see collapse over on the creeps, but rest of the team grouping up. Yatoro, smoked. Does have the ninja gear, which is very nice for this positioning. And they'll check out the eye spot, make sure that there's no vision over on the side. So it definitely feels like Talon, they want to make something happen, but it's just proving to be too difficult to figure out. How do we get in there? How do we get the lockdown needed? Because there's so much lockdown coming out from the side of Spirit.
Yeah, there's a lot of respect from both teams, though. And Hyde trying to smoke reveal here. The way he's playing, the way he's sitting right now.
A good collapse. Waiting patiently. Tokyo standing right next to collapse. It's a matter of who gets the initiation on who. But it feels like Talon, they want to go in, but they're just too uncertain. So they'll back off.
Both of them, though. Roshan is up, and right now Talon are closer to Roche, but they can't just go in and take it. They don't know exactly where the dire vision is, but Team Spirit, they know for certain that there's a ward on that cliff. They're staying outside of that cliff range. Of course, they know about the ward up here, though. The sentry is gonna get it dewarded perhaps by the Eglons, but no, gonna protect it. Gyrocopter comes over.
Collapse, moving forward. Poshka, Dodo. He's the Sheepstick. They're gonna get rid of Maposhka instantly. It's gonna be the buyback. Now Makoto pinned over to the wall with the black hole set up from KP. It's beautiful. It's gonna be able to put a decent amount of damage, but it's just not going to be quite enough. Like you said, they have the Satanic. They've got the BKB. They kill Makoto, kill High, KP, and Q to fall to Yatoro. 23 Savage. He's trying to stay alive. The swap comes out from Mira, perhaps trying to close the gap, maybe trying to cancel out a TP or something, but still alive. But it doesn't look like he's gonna be alive for much longer. It's a triple kill now for Yatoro.
It's such a tricky fight to take. You get a nice two-man black hole there, catching the Mars and the Gyrocopter, and Drow is next to it, dealing damage into it. But the Satanic, he popped it before the black hole came out, so you don't bring down the Gyrocopter. And if you don't kill Gyro, I don't think you win. You use the Queen ulti for this undying kill, and then Queen doesn't have anything to contribute into this. So look at the HP of Gyro. It just keeps going up to full all the time. Every single time he gets an attack out, especially if it crits, he's just healed back to full HP. And of course the chase down. I like the swap there, by the way. The swap back allowed Gyrocopter to get his Swift Blink out, and he was hiding behind Vengeful from the multi-shot to make sure he could blink in. Nice little detail there.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that because it felt like there was definitely the reasoning, definitely a reason why we saw the swap, but I wasn't entirely clear, so...
Yeah, he felt like maybe he could catch, but on top of that, the Swift Blink as well. You know, he can't use it while they're still hitting each other.
Right.
He was gonna die no matter what. There was no way out for a Drow Ranger once Gyro's on top of him like that.
Yeah. Alright, well, the top tower gets chewed down by the Gyrocopter. We'll push out the fortification on the side of the Radiant.
Yeah, they are respawning. They have everyone alive. They have Refresher on Enigma, but I just don't see the opening. Against this Aegis on Gyrocopter, I think he's just gonna go for everything here.
Yeah.
Oh,
seems to be the play. They have so much damage, though. The hit off. All right, that's going to be the Aegis. A nice decision coming out from Makoto, but the follow-up from Collapse and Toronto Tokyo on the back line, but he ends up getting bashed up. He'll be able to get 23 Savage as KP was trying to find this opening, but not going to be able to get in there. It's a fast strike from the side of Spirit. No buyback on 23 Savage. They've used the buyback on Hyde. No buyback on Q. This is proving...
I mean, they got a freebie there by Miposhka. He mistimed his Force Staff to when Yatoro turned around, so forcing their carry into the enemy. Goes down once, but he had that Aegis. But now without the Drow Ranger, I don't think there's any reason for Team Spirit to stop. Collapse is already in. He's just standing there.
Yeah, I don't think they have enough damage to get Team Spirit out of this base at this point.
No, not really. They have Black Hole, but they don't even have Sonic Wave and no Drow. I think this is just gonna be it. Team Spirit are going for the finish right here.
And they've got the Megas. Drop the Tombstone down.
Yeah, they're sitting in base. They can't really find an angle to take this fight. They have the Hex, but no matter how you disable him, the Aghanim's keeps hitting. And of course, all of the Team Spirit are quite strong
Have to
now.
do
Swap is
something.
ready.
All right, there it is. Makoto, he is going to be the one who jumps forward, tries to get their attention. Toronto Tokyo off the side, though, will just push Hyde back with that ultimate. Now Q, running for his life, does end up getting some attention, but it's a double kill for Toronto Tokyo. And the writing does feel like it's on the wall. We'll see 23 Savage coming up in about 9 seconds, but I just don't feel like they'll be able to do it without these supports. PP waiting here. There's a BKB from Makoto. Do have the Black Hole in the blink if they want to go in. He's going to jump in, but they just don't catch anyone. KP forced back. As now they'll put the pressure on Maposhka. Again, though, it's just the Undying. How do you get... Alright, the kid, Maposhka. The big target, though, obviously, is Yatra. He is the one doing so much damage. Right, nice
Yeah, and
arena
Collapse
over the back
almost
line. So
solo killing
Makoto, he's going to
Makoto.
have to buy back. Down forward again. Collapse taking a lot here. Does have the BKB, but they're just hitting this Ancient. Yatoro says, this is what
Yatoro's
we're here to
ending.
do, guys. This is Defense of the Ancients, and they will get themselves the victory here in game number 2.
Yeah, strong play. GG comes out from both teams.